Hello viewers, and welcome to my third installment of Men of War. Today we have and by the way, sorry for all the sound issues I was having in the last two videos. I'm pretty sure that's all cleared up. I'm kind of new to Audacity and Fraps in general, but the sound was getting recorded at a higher volume than it was playing back when I was listening to it, so I turned down Audacity and fucked with it a little bit, so it should be good now. But like I was saying, we have actually a different kind of game today. We're playing Day of Victory, I believe. It's a DLC map, 2v2, and Day of Victory is, and right off the bat you can see it's already intense. I started the video a little late, so I'll try to catch up here. I got a squad of paratroopers first squad. You start with a little more points in Day of Victory than you do in normal, and so right off you can get a squad of paratroopers, which is a really good start in this game mode. You'll see that this is just insane amounts of grenades and infantry micro. But really quick, the point of the game is to capture there's only one flag. There's no other points that you have to really contest. You do have to guard your flanks a little bit, but the most important area is right here in the middle. And the way it works is you have to have guys in the capping zone, and it slowly ticks up. And whoever gets it to 100 first obviously wins. So, since elite infantry have a higher capping priority than normal infantry, it's also a really good idea to have something like paratroopers, because they're going to be able to not only hold that and defend it better, but they're going to get capping priority and make it easier for you to either reset the timer if you're behind, or maintain the timer going up if you're just starting, or if you're ahead or whatnot. So we actually start off with a pretty good engagement here, and these guys are relatively good. We played one game with them before that I actually forgot to record, and they actually kicked the shit out of us. You'll see, like right there, I mean, I didn't even see that nade come at all. So they do a lot of really good nading. You can see there I cooked the grenade, which is always a good thing to do, especially in these close quarters engagements. And if they have time to react from just seeing the grenade get lobbed over there, that's almost enough time to move out of the way. But if you cook it, really doesn't. I fuck up there and accidentally throw it the wrong way. I was trying to catch that guy coming up. Now I actually throw an 18 nade over there. There's just so much action going on here. I really like this game mode for this reason. It will make you a better infantry player. It will make your micro better, I guarantee it. So I crawl into position here so that they don't see the grenade coming until it's too late, perfectly cooked, and explodes without them having a chance to react. And they're doing the same thing to us on the other side. You can see I'm getting hit with grenades left and right. This guy is just hunching over, waiting for his inevitable doom. So, like I'm saying, I really recommend this game mode for infantry micro. I think it'll help out a lot of people. The only problem is this DLC, but in all honesty, I didn't have a problem finding a game. We had our game up for maybe 2 or 3 minutes before 2 people joined. I think there were buddies. See 2 more people get grenaded over there. That's pretty much the majority of this game, is just grenades back and forth. But it will make you work on your direct control, because you have to cook the grenades. Otherwise, if it's good opponents, they're going to dodge it every time. I actually missed that guy. He was a little closer to the wall. So as for strategy on this, it's kind of hard to say since it's so infantry focused. These side lanes, you have to defend them, because any kind of flanking maneuver, if it's not defended, then it can kind of fuck you up pretty bad. But the other thing is, tanks aren't really that viable, at least on this map, because they can't shoot up to this heightened position, or at least not very effectively. You see another beautiful nade from our opponents there, perfectly cooked, and Kami had he had his guys a little too clumped together there, unfortunately. Yeah, I actually forgot to even mention it was Kami who I'm playing with this time. He's back, so yeah, more grenades coming off. Just an absolute pretty much a no-go zone anywhere in this middle. Like, you're just bound to get grenaded no matter where you're standing, so you constantly have to keep your guys on the move, keep them spread out, and focus on anytime you spot their infantry, even if it's one guy, try to remember where that position is and get a cooked grenade over there, and that's how you win this mode pretty much. A mortar would do really well here, I think, just because, well, actually I have used a mortar on this one a couple times. I can't remember if I get one this game, but just because there's a lot of cover behind the cap zone area, and so you can get a mortar back there and shell with pretty much impunity. Something else that I still have to work on quite a bit as well, but cooking grenades while, oh man, and our opponent just kicked the hell out of Kami with something, I don't know, I think he may have been bunched up and ate a grenade, so, but yeah, cooking grenades in direct control while you're moving your guys. So you go in direct control and you start running your guy over because you have to hop out of cover to get the grenade off, or you're too far away and it's not safe to just crawl over there. Just go in direct control, start cooking the grenade before you come out of cover, and then run out there, toss it really quick, and then run right back. It's kind of hard to pull off successfully, but when you do it, it's not only very satisfying, but very hard to counter. It's one of the signs of a really good player. I watched a couple of vidcasts of actually Instinct, and that guy just has insane grenade micro. He very rarely misses them, and they're just perfectly timed, and so you can just lose full squads really easily like that, especially since they nerfed elite infantry to where they don't survive a grenade hit, because they used to all survive a grenade hit, and then they just heal back up, no problem. So I actually have picked up a mortar here. I figure we're doing pretty well, but I think a mortar here would just solidify the win, or at least solidify our lead. Now, since you do have to get fairly close to the action with these, I guess I probably could have put it a little farther back. I don't know why I put it so close. They actually have an M8 over there, which is real pain in the ass. I hate those. When I use them, they never seem to hit anything, but when our opponents use them, they always seem to be deadly accurate. So, but yeah, I'm not sure why I placed it so far up. I think I was trying to not only have cover for my infantry, but also they have a large house here that will kind of block off any kind of line of fire for the mortar, so it can't get counter shelled with like an M8. See a beautiful shot right there, takes out like 5 guys. So the mortar's already paying off. Because, like I said, in this game mode, it's really just, it's very fast-paced, and you can win it or lose it very quickly. So once you have the momentum, you really don't want to slow down. You want to keep up the assault and push forward, which is something we're really not doing as well as we should be here. We should be actually pushing forward and trying to encroach on their side. That way we can really put the pressure on. And you know, if you have them fighting in your base or in their base, you know, or in their base area, the closer to their base that you are, the better off you are. Just because it's gonna, they have to push you, not only push you back, but then they still have to break whatever defenses you left behind in the cap zone. So the only thing I don't like about this is the flag's really hard to see, and just you can see explosions everywhere. It's really hard to commentate on every individual action in this game just because there's so much micro going on. So I'm just kind of trying to give you a more general overview. This won't be a terribly long video, I don't think. So just kind of an entertaining, fast-paced game. And like I said, if you have the DLC, then by all means try playing this game mode because it'll make you a better player. And we're always looking for more people to play as well, so feel free to add me on Steam, and we can get together and play a couple of DLC games or Frontlines or whatever. I actually call in a squad of infantry here, and I almost ran them right into a machine gun that he's got over on the other side. I believe he's got a machine gun over there blocking, guarding off his flank. So now we see that we're pretty well ahead. We're almost to 40% on the cap, and so now we're really trying to flood infantry in there, and another crazy nade from our opponent, and I think he hit all of Kami's guys who were grouped up. And I actually switched targets there. I was going to go up, but I saw more people here, so I tried to switch, but my opponent very intelligently got out of the way very quickly. So something I'll do a lot is if I'm going to grenade somebody and I see a better target, I'll switch them, and kind of even mid-throw, because it takes your guy a second to throw it. You can switch mid-throw and try to get a better target on, and it can work really well. So I've lost, there's no way to even keep track of, you know, how many grenades have gone off in this match. But oh, and a Goliath just detonates in their backfield on top of their mortar, and they pulled out a mortar to counter mortar mine, and I was trying to take it out with just counter battery fire, but Kami called in a Goliath and just got a perfect detonation there on the mortar, and all the surrounding infantry were taken out as well. So now we're in a really good position. There's not really a whole lot they can do because tanks are not such a game changer on this map and it's more infantry focused. There's really not a whole lot we have to worry about. Indirect fire would be their best bet, and they already have 2 pieces of that. Their mortar, which died, and then the M8, which I'm actually trying to kill now with my mortar. It's just slightly out of range, and I already laid down sandbags for my mortar, so I don't really want to move it. So I'm just going to try to shell it from a little outside the effective range and hope to get lucky. So you can see I don't have this flank over here very well defended, but I have enough guys over there to let me know if something's going over there, and then I can quickly shift and reposition, some remaining guys I have up top to deal with the threat if need be. So my opponent calls in a half track, which isn't a bad call. You can see they actually can hit up there, and it can be effective. It's just not nearly as effective as if it would be, in the open. So I call in get a really lucky shot there. I call in a AT rifle to take care of the half track, and he max ranges it automatically. I just right clicked it and got the first shot actually blew it sky high. So that was really fortuitous on my part. Yeah, you can see I didn't even have anything, there guarding it to begin with, like a pack or anything, and that's one of the things I could say is a downside to this map, is you can react really quick. Just like any of the other small 2v2 maps, you can react really quickly to what your opponent does, and the same goes for you. So if I call out a P3J or something and try to bring it up to maybe break a flank and try to use a breakthrough technique, then he can immediately just call in an AT gun and it'll already be in prime position to take me out. So personally, I like that kind of fast-paced gameplay, but I know a lot of people don't, and I understand the reason for it, because it kind of takes away the surprise factor, and you don't get effective time on field with whatever you called in. So, and calling GG already, and apparently, yeah, this game is already over. I didn't realize this ended so quickly. I think I actually recorded 2, so let's see exactly what happens here. I think we might just ready up and do another one. So if that's the case, I'm just going to go ahead and do both these one after the other. Sorry, you're going to have to see a second of sitting in the lobby here with these guys. They're actually from Germany. They're pretty cool guys. So yeah, we'll just jump straight into the second match. I don't think that one's too long either. Sorry, I guess I should have, excuse me, checked a little bit closer on the video, but like I said, I'm still getting used to Virtual Dub and editing them all together, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to go through them one by one. I actually think I forgot that I was recording at one point, and because I don't have the overlay like I did before with the FPS counter, so I'm not even sure when I'm recording or not. Just if I accidentally press F9, then it starts, and then if I forget, it just keeps going. So I'm doing pretty much the exact same strategy here. I pull 3 guys off to the right, and one of those is a machine gun, and I'll spread them out once I get up there just to cover that flank. I'm not going to really try any pushing with them or anything like that. So I also figured they would be expecting this, and I was okay with that personally, because I didn't see a really hard counter to it, and I wanted to see how they would react, just kind of gauge and see what kind of players they are and how good they are. If I was them, I probably would have copied what I did, because I think last time they got assault infantry. I probably would have gotten paratroopers if I was them, just for the reasons I stated above. Plus, look at the amount of grenades. 22 frag grenades and 11 AT grenades that these guys come with. So that's a whole lot of firepower. And you can see it's just a mad rush to this middle area. And this opening engagement is so important. You have to be really careful that you don't catch a grenade to all your guys or something like that, especially with their reaction time. If they're clumped up and you try to dodge a grenade, a lot of times they'll just sit there and refuse and accept their fate. So it can be a little frustrating. So you really want to get your guys spread out as soon as possible, which I was trying to do with those other 2 guys to kind of micro them away from the grenades, but it didn't work out too well, and I ended up eating both of them. So. And then Kami accidentally almost runs straight into their backfield, which would have screwed him. So here I am just cooking a nade on the guy on the stairs. And there actually ends up being 3. I don't know how that didn't kill anyone. So right here, if there's a bunch of bunched up guys and you think they're going to move soon, just this guy's just going to town, throwing everything he has. I meant to nade there, but I accidentally went over to his gun, but I still managed to get it off and get out of the way of the other nade. Like I was saying though, if there's a large group of guys that you really want to get a nade off on, and you think they're going to be moving, pretty quickly from the time you throw it, throw an AT grenade. And that's something you'll notice a lot of good players do, is they'll use AT grenades almost exclusively in the position of frag grenades, because they blow up immediately. They have a similar blast radius, and they can just really put a lot of hurt on your opponent. So I would highly suggest that. By the way, I think this will be the last Men of War video I do for at least a couple videos. I want to get in some maybe some company heroes, and maybe some world of tanks, just to kind of attract a wider base of people, especially now that I have the sound issue fixed. Thank you guys for so kindly pointing that out to me. So yeah, you can see it's playing out a lot like the last game did. Same kind of tactics. There's really no deviation of those tactics on this map. It's really the only way you can go that I can think of. So, see me direct controlling here and doing some executions, which can be really useful with riflemen. I was actually reading an interesting forum post today saying they always shoot for the head if you automatically allow them to shoot, and so direct controlling, you can actually make them aim for the chest, which is a far easier target to hit, and so you'll waste a lot less ammunition. Not that ammunition itself is important, but the amount of rounds you get on target is of course very important. So here's the machine gun guy that I told to build the sandbag wall to kind of protect this flank, and for some reason he was laying down on the ground cowering like a little pussy. So I don't really understand why they do that, but it can be kind of frustrating if you know, enemy infantry just kind of walk right up to you and grenade you while you're cowering behind your sandbag and your guy just refuses to move. So always gotta try and keep an eye on that. Now for the hero points, I really don't see anything that would be too effective, at least until Brandenburger, because the paratroopers themselves are good enough infantry to hold it down, and since there's no, like, maybe before they remove the Japanese hero mortar, that thing would just be insane on this map. But there's really nothing else. The vet sniper, I don't see what position you could put it in to really make a difference. Maybe on the flank to kind of probe their lines and find a weakness and then break through. I guess that might work. Other than that, though, the Goliath, well, you saw last game that Goliath took out their mortar and a ton of infantry, so it can work. But if they have any kind of AT infantry or recoilless rifles or anything, they'll kill it pretty quick. And fortunately, all three of those guys just get executed as they try to run up here, because Kami's guys were very bunched together, so I'm yelling at him desperately to move them before he eats an AT grenade or something. So he spreads them out pretty nicely here, and so far infantry have been holding up really well compared to theirs, which I'm kind of surprised at, because there's, you know, their guys have Garens, whereas ours have the bolt action 98Ks, and so I don't know, maybe they got an assault squad? I think they actually did. Yeah, if you see up in the... No, that's... Well, I guess both sides have assault infantry. Assault infantry are good. Yeah, I guess they would be the right call. I know, I guess I'm thinking that the riflemen would have served them better with their one-shot kill capabilities and things of that nature. The assault guys carry more grenades, which is obviously a bonus. So I don't know, maybe we're just outplaying them, but so far, and I'm starting to panic here. I see this guy coming, and I'm yelling at Kami to get rid of him before he AT grenades my mortar, because that would have been a big loss for us. And that could have been a game changer, because the mortar really locks down this position well. Especially when this is the only area you have to worry about. You pretty much, you sit it there and it's fire and forget. You don't really have to do anything to it. Just let it rain down hell. If you see an important target, then focus on it. And that's about it. It'll do the rest of it for you. So, not really a whole lot else going on. Like I said, it's just going to be constant infantry focus and infantry battles. But you can really see the importance of grenades, and you know, really try to take that and implement it into your game, because it'll help you a lot. See a fucking beautiful mortar there, takes out 4 guys, and that seems to be a recurring theme here. It happens both these games. We actually did an assault zones after this that was a lot closer. I kind of wish I would have remembered to record that one. We almost lost that one, so. But in the assault zones, I think there's 5 points, and 2 on each side and then the one in the middle, except the cap zone's smaller for the one in the middle. So it makes for a little more interesting gameplay if you're looking for kind of the all-around, tanks included kind of style, which I'm sure most people, you know, prefer. Me personally, I accidentally throw that grenade against a wall and kill myself there, so that happens. And his friend goes and tries to search his body and meets the same fate. But yeah, the assault zones on this map is pretty good too. Like I was saying, the cap zone in the middle is quite a bit smaller, so whoever gets that, it's really hard to break. because you can't just run up to the outskirts here. You have to be up in the raised area to actually cap that middle point in assault zones. The left and the right are kind of balanced. I was having a lot of problems on my left hand side on this, but overall I like the map. I would definitely recommend it. It just depends on if you like small maps or not. I tend to prefer them, just because the action's a little more fast-paced, although it doesn't allow for as much flanking, especially on this map, because they're always going to have AT infantry in their backfield, and if you try to rush up any kind of tank, even a fast tank, it's more than likely going to get Fausted or something of that nature. So more grenades. My guys are trying to jump out of the way, and you can see so many. Kami actually detonates another Goliath in the backfield. I think he only took out a few infantry. But you can see what I'm talking about with the cooking of the grenades, because you'll notice my opponent, a lot of times he hasn't been cooking them. I feel like in the beginning he was, and now he's kind of slowed down on it, and it's really costing him, because if he doesn't cook those, and I see it coming, there's no way I'm getting hit by it. Like, I have to be pretty foolish to allow myself to get hit by that with so much time to react. I tried to run a Goliath up here, just kind of because I had nothing better to do. I didn't have anything else I really needed to spend points on, at least the special points. So I was figuring maybe he would bring up a mortar or something and I could get a nice detonation over here, but looking around, I'm just not seeing any good targets, and then he just gets shot in the face with an AT. I think it was Panzerschreck. So, but no big loss. Well, I thought we were almost winning. Last time I looked at that flag, it said like 80-something percent. Now it's back down to 0%. So I guess we lost all of our infantry in the middle, and then they retook it. Because it doesn't take very long to decap it. It takes a long time to cap it, but if you get infantry in there and they don't have any infantry to compete with that, you'll decap it back down to 0 within a matter of probably 15-20 seconds. So there is a lot of room for comeback on this if you can clear out their infantry. So, see, he brings a whole squad in the open here. That's never something you want to do. He was smart and laid him down, but he immediately realizes his mistake and tries to pull back, but it's already a little too late. He's taken a lot of casualties. So at this point, he decides to actually call in the M19 AA tank, and I love this tank. This thing is a beast. I don't know if you guys have played with this thing a lot, but it's a monster. It can kill most tanks, and it can track pretty much any tank. So you can wait for a tank to shoot, even a Tiger, which I did on the Assault Zones game that we played after this. I just waited for him to shoot, popped out, and fired off a quick mag, and hit the track, and it detracks him, and they just radio op it from there. But it's excellent at taking out infantry, any kind of AT guns, mortars, all that kind of stuff. It can burn through them really quick. You don't have to worry about firing one shot and then missing and switching over, just like any other AA guns, I guess you could say. But the difference is the M19 is a 40mm, it's a Bofors 40mm, compared to the usual 20mm. So he's getting a little desperate. You can see him charging up these points. They know that they've lost a lot more than us. You can see the score is actually 98 to 56, so not that score has any bearing on the actual game. It's just kind of an indicator of how much you've killed, how much you've lost. I see a huge squad coming here. I try to go in direct control to take it all out, because that's a lot more effective if they're lined up in a bunch like that. If they're running... Let's see, how would you put that? If they're running horizontal from you, then probably let it auto-aim, but if they're running vertically, like straight towards you, go in direct control, and you can just mow down the entire squad really quickly. At least that's the way I always gauge it, because if they're running horizontally, it's kind of hard. You have to lead them a little bit, and it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's better to just let the AI take care of it. So I'm not sure what he's doing with his AA tank. He's just kind of moving around from side to side, trying to pick off random infantry stragglers. And now he's shooting up at the top, which I think if he was over on this flank that I'm looking at right now, then he could probably hit some of my infantry. But now it looks like he's kind of getting blocked by his own side. He's hitting that wall, and it's slowing him down and that kind of thing. So I run up here, go in direct control, and kill this guy really quick before he manages to take out my paratrooper. I'll always scavenge the weapons. Pretty much every time, especially if it's a machine gun or something, and especially if it's front lines, and you lose a machine gun, or even in assault zones and whatnot. Just call in a rifleman really quick, a single rifle guy, and bring him up, take the machine gun, loot the ammo, and it makes a big difference. Throw them in some cover after that, and you're golden. Do it with their machine guns too. As soon as you kill their machine gun, if that's like the last thing you kill or they don't have any support, go jack their machine gun. Even if you don't have time to grab the ammo, just grab the machine gun and run away with it. That way they can't use it against you. They can't get somebody else and pick it up and do the same thing that you try to do. So Mortar, they've actually called in conscripts, and the Mortar's just ripping them apart. Their AA tank really isn't being too effective. I'd try a bolder move with it, maybe come all the way around the flank, try to come around my pack gun, and then maybe come behind and try to kill the Mortar. Not saying that would be effective or it would work, but I think it would be more effective than what he's doing now. Like I said, these guys are good players, but if a strategy's not working for you, you need to change it up. That's pretty much all there is to it. We got our asses kicked on the first game with these guys, and so we asked for a rematch and changed up our strategy a lot. I think the first time we got a light vehicle. Yeah, Kami got a light vehicle, and I just got a regular infantry squad, which was, in hindsight, probably the worst combination we could have made, because the light vehicle does about dick on this map, and then the regular infantry for Germans just isn't that great in a close quarters engagement like this. So another beautiful grenade, takes out 3 guys. I cook one, throw it up here. And that's also really taxing on the opponent. It's just a rain of grenades from every angle, and it's beautiful. But it taxes them mentally. Having to dodge all these grenades and stuff, it's very taxing. It's kind of exhausts you. So he actually moves his AA gun a little too far out there. I'd called in a Pack 38 to counter it, and so I get a lucky hit on there, and it explodes. We're at 100%, and we win again. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will try to bring you one within a few days here. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.